What up, world? It's RicoKnows. Going to talk to you guys about Week 11 of the college football season. Before I get into it, full disclosure, this is a free video. This is going to be posted on YouTube. Going to be posted on the Patreon. It'll be available for the world to see. I don't care. I do this every single week. I know people aren't watching it. I know people aren't watching the results show. And I know it because I shared a story last week where I talked about how I was all G'd up from the feet up, and we were getting ready to go to the club, and we planned it all week long. We're going to the club. Got a haircut, bought a new shirt from Ross, got new shoes. I'm going to the club because it's ladies' night on Thursday, and we're going to go get some hoes. I was in my late 20s. I was an amazing hip-hop dancer. I still am. Babe, am I still a great dancer? I dance in the living room all the time, just for my girl, though. I put on a special show for her. Her and Ash, obviously. But nonetheless, I told this story because while we were putting all our money and we were invested in it, we got there on Thursday. Me and my boy, shout out to Nelson from Shreveport. It's his last name. I don't remember his first name. Shout out to Nelson and Erica if you're still married to her. What's up, man? Anyways, we got to the club. And the sign on the door said Pride Week. And we were at the wrong club. We made the wrong bet. We were locked in way too early. We had no idea it was going to be that event on that particular day. And when you saw it like that, I started screaming out, why's that guy got assless chaps on, bro? Why are his butt cheeks out? Shout out to El Paso, by the way. I shared that story last week, and I went into detail about it and everything. And this week on the Discord server, I got the same questions. Oh my God, Rico, they say so-and-so's playing. Are we going to go with that bet? Is it still a lock? And I'm just like, the fuck, bro? You guys don't watch the free videos? Y'all don't watch the free videos? What are we doing? It's crazy. So, Saturday's done. It is a results show. I'm going to go very briefly over the UFC because it doesn't need much talking. You don't need to see much. Oh, by the way, this one's a miss up top. That doesn't matter. Oh, but Rico, you missed. Doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter. As long as these first three are green, we didn't miss anything. If you don't know how the UFC works, if you see white text, those are the locks. We went 4-0 on locks. Parlayed them all together. Did a bunch of other magic. And we came out on top. Ended up on the card. Was it 8-2 or 8-3? 8-3. Haven't filled out the bottom yet. 8-3. My bad. 72%. Now, it was a chalky card. I told the MVPs this. But what we were really happy about is this sub by DeRitter, called it. Robertson didn't get a sub. It happens. And then we had a fight not going the distance, ends in a TKO. That happened. Another one not going the distance down here with Dos Santos, got it done in the first round. And the only other prop we missed there. And parlays and props are a big deal. Now, I haven't redone the percentages, just so we're clear. I have not redone the percentages or the totals. If you look from last card, they're all matching. I need to still fill that in today. I'm a little busy today. We do have an open house. We got to prep the house for the open house. We got to leave. So, got a lot of responsibilities, a lot of requirements. But I just wanted to show you guys, we dominated UFC again. Won a ton of money. Shout out to the MVPs who know what they're doing. My annual MVP guys who are here year round, they know what's up. But what you're here for is the football results. Football results. Oh my God, Rico, how did we do? Well, we went. It was a difficult day. We went 2-7 on the locks. 2-7 on the locks. We'll talk about them in depth, each individual one. 13-11 on the leans and 6-11 on the coin flips. That's all against the spread. It's a pretty bad week. Money line dominated. Very easy to get the money line right, but missed 3 of the locks on the money line. I need that all green. If I'm being real, I need it all green. And then leans, you can see where it starts to taper off towards the end. And this is the ultimate trend analysis when you start wondering if I have a good sense of how the games are going to go. is if you see it green all the way up here and then it starts to go red, yeah, we had it right. We knew the games we were very confident in, and then we knew the games we weren't too sure of. That's kind of how that goes, okay? Talent chart predictions went half and half. They went 50-50 this week. It is what it is. They went 50-50. And then underdogs. I want to talk about this for a second. We had an MVP, well, we had a couple just right and just start getting scathing mad about things. And they get on the Discord server and they attack my character, my work ethic, my knowledge, what I'm doing. This guy's a fucking square. And in the gambling world, square means he only takes the favorites. Everything's a minus number. All his locks are minus numbers. He never takes an underdog. Well, then what are all these? I took all these underdogs. I missed on all of them. I got one. And I was very confident in Duke. I was so confident in Duke, I moved him up the chart. I put him here. I moved him up here. I was so confident in Duke, I moved him halfway. When you start seeing the number one pluses, it was between Syracuse and Duke as my favorite underdogs. I also believed in Oklahoma. Believed in Rice to some extent. UCF for sure. And we'll talk about them. But it's the nature of gambling. You can't make everybody happy. You can't do it. I just want to encourage people, and I want to talk to some of you guys about it. If you come to the Discord server, the server is something I provide for you. You're not paying for the Discord server. Okay, there's something called, it's a boosted Discord server. It's got 15 nitros or some shit like that every month. I pay for the Discord server. Personally, you don't pay for it. It's not included in anything. It's just, it's there. It's provided to you so you can interact with other MVPs, so you can watch my live streams, and so you can interact with me. It's not there for you to pop off at the mouth and attack my character or who I am as a person. Like, none of that shit is going to fly, bro. You couldn't come to my living room and talk to me like that and then get to hang out in my living room. So if you talk to me out of pocket, aggressive, Twitter fingers got you guys shook, man. It's got you with an infinite amount of confidence. I'll never understand it. Talk the way you talk is just nuts. Now, somebody will say, well, Rico, you're very condescending. You're not very nice to us. You're rude to us. Bruh, just get the fuck on. Seriously, this ain't no Hallmark card. You didn't show up to my platform to get my analysis to be nice to you. Ain't nothing worse than a dude being nice while losing. Oh, well, I'm really. Fuck that, bro. It is what it is. We're never going to agree. You're not invited to the cookout. You can't dance. You don't get to listen to the music. You don't belong on my block, bro. You're not cut from the same cloth as me. I could use every cliche in the world. We're just not on the same level. We're just not. There's winners and there's losers. And if you feel the need to lose and crash out on a Discord server, you ain't tough, bro. I never once in my life typed with anger. I never once typed like so big, I got to put it in all caps and get all tough. Like, I don't do that. There's no need for it. I'm going to show you guys something. If you go here to the Patreon and you look at yesterday's numbers, they total up your numbers at the end of the day. We had 24 cancellations of MVPs. Now, full transparency, excuse me, parody. Transparency there, that's a Freudian slip if you ever heard one. There are over 2,000 MVPs. Over 2,000 MVPs and 24 quit. So about 1% quit. It's a shame. I don't want to lose 1% of the MVPs on any given day. That sucks. I can only handle that 100 times. Oh, what's that? That means if I lose 1% of the MVPs every day, that's like losing a unit. You see that? It would be earth-shattering to me if I lost 1%, if I didn't really have 99 more percent. I think some of you guys, when you miss on a pick or a bet or something, like, I don't know what you're doing. Like, I just don't. We talk about unit management. We preach it. We talk about it. You don't live it. You motherfuckers are the same dudes who are buying quotes from Ross and hanging them on the wall and thinking you're fucking Plato. You're not. Y'all don't live what you're doing. Do I have to start this shit over? It says my mic is connected. I'm sorry, coachies, if you can't hear me. That's a damn shame. I'm recording right now, and coaches can't hear me. I'm going to end the stage for him and make sure they can hear me. Give me a second here. I hope that works out for him. Sorry about that. I want him to be able to hear it. We got MVPs on the Discord server watching the results show right now, so I'm trying to give him sound. But let me get back on track here. If you went 2-7 yesterday on locks, well, that's impossible because Iowa missed on Friday. So if you went 2-6 yesterday on locks, and you put a unit on each game, how many units are you down? Anybody? You're down 4 units, bro. That's on the locks. And if you keep going and you bet on the next 5 games, you're up a unit. But you don't have unit management. You don't bet that way. You guys don't even approach it like that. You know how you approach it? Well, what's going on right now? Well, what's the slate right now? I need to know what's going on right now. I'm going to bet on all these games right now. What did Rico say for these games? They're not all equivalent. And it's no shade. One of my favorite MVPs, shout out to Twiz. One of my favorite MVPs is Twiz. And he says, man, I've never lost this much money on a Saturday. And when he said it, the locks were 2-2. Leans were cleaning up. And I'm going, what the fuck is he talking about? And what he was talking about is he bet Syracuse. Apparently multiple units. If you don't understand that a unit is supposed to be 1% of your bankroll, then you're not prepared to miss. Ever. Like if you're a gambler and you're putting $200 on this, $200 on that. I had an MVP right on the Discord. So I just dropped $800 on Iowa last night. I don't know what that means to me. What that means to me is if you dropped $800 on Iowa, you better have an $80,000 bankroll. And you better be dropping $800 on every single play. Or else you're an irresponsible gambler. Rico, that sounds crazy. No. It does sound crazy. Your strategy is yours. But to think that I went 2-7, which I don't want to do. I don't. And to think that you put more than a unit on these, or you're more than 4 units down, is wild. The irresponsibility is insane. And what's crazy is like Texas will hit, and you won't hear a peep from these dudes. Not a word. Because they didn't bet it. Because they were on Florida. But you won't hear about it. Or they were too busy missing on all the noon games and didn't even assess the 3 o'clock games because you guys live for the fucking moment and you move on to the next block of time. It's a noon, 3, 7, and midnight timestamp. I'm telling you that right now. On a Saturday, I'm going to get spammed from all the losers who missed on the noon slate, the 3 slate, the 7 slate, and at the end of the night slate. That's who it is. That's what it is. It's just like that. It's chronological. It doesn't have anything to do with how I post them on the chart. None, because when we're hitting all these in a row, like it's just they don't live there. Oh, this is bullshit, man. This guy said this team was going to win. I don't know why. I remember one guy wrote on there, oh, what is this shit? He picked LSU. Bro, it's at the bottom of the coin flips. It's a coin flip game. You picked LSU. And until I see you missing on everything, I don't believe you, bro. I don't. And my thing is, like, I'm just trying to explain it to you guys. I hate missing. I just lost 1% of my MVPs. But I know it's not the end of the world because there's 99 more units left. There's 99 more % of people left. So when you make a 4-unit bet on a lock and it misses, the real question is, do you have 96 other units waiting to go? Like if you had a gun and you had 100 rounds, and you were shooting, and you know you're in a firefight for the next 5 hours, you can't let it all go. You ain't ready to fight back later in the day, later in the night. You don't even have the resources to win. Because some of you are so dependent on hitting at noon that you got nothing left to bet at 3, at 7. You got nothing left to bet the rest of the day. Because you got to take those winnings and roll them over to the next winnings. You're not real. You don't even have a bankroll. I hope you don't pay me, because that $25 is crippling your ass. Y'all remind me of these cam models. I see these cam models online, and I think they go online. I heard about this. I think they go online and they say, hey, just send me a Lambo, send me a universe, send me a something, and I'll do this for you. Maybe I'll let this slip and all this. And dude's there just sending as much as he can in the moment. And then later on, she asks for more, and you got nothing left to give her. You didn't pace yourself? You're not real? You're not ready to cash in and win later? Nah. It separates the boys from the men. It really does. You guys are like teenagers, man. You blow your load too early. And it sucks because I want to get it right. But shout out to the MVPs who were on the MMA fights, which I don't understand why you're not all there. You hear a guy is winning at 82%. My locks are at 82%. You hear that we're getting UFC right every single week. And we only got like 50, 60, 70, 80 people up in there. I don't know why you're not there. You don't want to win money. You pay for the platform. The analysis there, the video's posted 5 days prior. I do like 2 hours on a video. I don't understand it. But I told those MVPs, I said, hey guys, we just cleaned house on the UFC. We just won a ton of money on the UFC. Do not bet any college football tonight. Just get away from it. Go to bed. And somebody jokingly wrote, hey, Rico, but Utah. And I said, no. You can see it. It's right here. I'm scrolling up on the Discord server. It's right here. Right here. We're all talking about winning all our money last night. We love you, Rico. We F with you, Rico. Real MVP's here. Yup, all this stuff. And then Short Stuff wrote, but Utah. And I said, nah, bruh. Don't bet on anything tonight. But if you're not getting that sound advice in the moment and you're just tailing a chart or you're just chasing a high or whatever it is or a loss, like that's on you, man. I can't help you. You're just bad. Oh, by the way, this chart, you guys will say, oh, he missed. Let's go look at this chart. This is the props chart. This is the props chart. This is the one where we talk about Rico's best bets. This column, I can't feel bad for you, man, because I can't help you. This column is what I would do if I was betting on those games. And in this particular column, we went 17 and 18 yesterday. They're all plus 100 bets for the most part. So you'd be above 50%. And if you manage to avoid the misses, you would have been way up. We've been talking about this column here. We're always above 50% in the leans. It's not a big deal because they're negatives. You got to parlay some stuff. Okay. And the value bets, 1 in 3 hits. It was a terrible day yesterday for value bets. I'm trying to be very selective on what I pick. It was a terrible week on value bets, except for Friday. But the rebound on best bets was amazing. And you guys you couldn't even enjoy it. You don't even go there. You don't even bet these things. It was amazing. Went from 6 and 24 on weekdays, ice cold, terrible, 6 and 24 to 17 and 18 on a weekend. That's fucking, you tell me. if I'm proud of myself from getting off the mat at 6-24 to 17-18. Can't do it for you, bro. I just do my analysis. So let's talk about the games. This guy rubbed me the wrong way. He doesn't provide. Shut up, dude. Get out of here. Listen, and that's another thing. Of those people who quit, of those 24 people who quit, Austin and the 23 other people, I want to say something to each and every one of them. Thank you for not being childish and getting on the Discord server and spamming me your hatred. Thank you for just walking away, being an adult. You don't need to stand up in the restaurant and start telling all the other customers how bad your food was, how much you dislike this restaurant. You don't need to do that. Nobody does that in society. Karens, maybe. But nobody does that. 1% of MVPs quit yesterday. I think we'll live. And they quit in a classy way. About 4 guys got on the Discord server and made a scene. You 4? I know you can see this video. It's free. I know it's eating at you to watch me. You 4 are losers, bro. You 4 got emotional about missing. I know you don't have unit management. I know you can't handle missing 4 or 5 times. You're supposed to be able to miss 100 times. Theoretically, you're putting 1 unit on games. 1% of your bankroll. You don't have a bankroll, buddy. Go back to work. On Monday, make sure you clock in and report to whoever it is that's in charge of you. Some nerd is in charge of you at work and it's eating you alive. And scour Twitter and go find somebody else that you want to pay to do the research you won't do. Somebody else that you want to blame for your misses. You losers. Seriously. I ain't seen some shit like that in a minute. It reminded me of like middle school girls arguing over some nonsense, bro. And Brian, whatever the hell your name is, Brian, you're the biggest faker, bro. I wish I could meet you in real life. Just shoulder check you one time, bro. And you tell me it's a misunderstanding. And you just stare at the floor and pretend like you're lost. I'm serious. This ain't no internet tough guy stuff. I want to meet you. Shout out to McLovin and the 19 other people who joined. The delta here is I had a net loss of 4 people yesterday. Yeah, I'm going to really second guess my whole platform and start doing things differently. You fucking idiots, man. You're on the wrong side of history, bro. We're just going to keep grinding. All right, results. Bowling Green beat Central Michigan. I missed on the spread. It was 11.5. I didn't think Central Michigan would score. I thought Central Michigan had poor quarterback play. Let's go look at that box score and see if I was right. Central Michigan can't throw the ball. Starting quarterback Tyler Jefferson, 1 for 7, 6 yards. I was 100% right in this regard. It didn't matter. Bowling Green settled for field goals. Didn't get the drives done the way they needed to. Didn't give Teron Stewart the ball nearly enough. It was frustrating. It was a frustrating game. They should have covered that spread. They're out there sleepwalking on a Tuesday. Miami of Ohio. I took Ball State. Nobody gives me credit for this. No one's talking about it. Ball State took them to cover the spread. Took an underdog, severe underdog, and said they're going to be able to score on these guys. And they were. And they kept pace. Congratulations to Miami of Ohio. Wednesday, lock of all locks. Right? It wasn't on the lock list, Rico. It was on the leans list up towards the top. Yeah. It's the best, one of the best. It was the second best game you were going to get on a weekday game this week. You got the early chart. You got the confidence chart. This was the second best game on the weekday games. And you treated it like it was just another game. That's your problem, not mine. Matter of fact, many of you guys took Western Michigan bigger than Ohio. Because the plus money's there and you believed in it. And I believed in it. They're not equivalent plays. They shouldn't be parlayed. When you look at the chart, Ohio's up here, bro. Ohio's the second thing on the leans. This is as close to a lock as you're getting. And you're parlaying that with this? That don't make no sense. Oh, but they're both played on the same day, Rico. I got to get a parlay on the same day. Well, then what the fuck's the confidence chart for? Total lock, made it happen, covered the spread, no problem. Oh, but all your prop bets missed on it. Yep, Kent State sucks, and Navarro didn't have to run. All the prop bets were the same. Navarro's getting 50 yards rushing. Sportsbook had him at 70. I had him at 50. They missed more than me. It is what it is. Northern Illinois beating Western Michigan, it sucks. Northern Illinois is a really hard team to read at this point. They're good some weeks and they're bad some others. They're frustrating. App State, both coin flips on a Thursday night. Y'all treated like these were fucking locks. Dude's talking shit. Oh my God, he missed so bad. He missed by 40. It was just a coin flip game. How do you want to flip a coin? I'll flip it and take the plus money. Miss is a miss. I'm cool with that. So I took an underdog. It happens. Coastal Carolina came out the fucking gates, blew out App State. App State just playing like shit. App State and Oklahoma State, both very talented teams doing the same thing. Not stopping a fucking thing. It's just bad. Joey Aguilar sucks. That's what a guy told me. Joey Aguilar sucks. Without knowing, Joey Aguilar was 7th in the nation last year in passing. Number 7 among 133 quarterbacks last year. He was the 7th best one in America. Over 3,300 yards passing. I think 3,700 yards passing. For the last month, he's had over 2 touchdowns in every single game. How do you predict this? And the thing I always ask you guys is, okay, if you don't like the pick, would you have gone the other way? If you would have, then do it. I highly doubt you'd be willing to bet the other way. Friday, we learned Cal's defense is daunting, but not as good as you think. And apparently Wake Forest is terrible, like I thought. But I had Wake Forest covering a 7.5-point spread. They didn't get it done. They lost by 10. I will say this, though. If you go look at the chart, and you go in here to prop bets, and we scroll down to the weekday stuff, and you look, it's right here. I had Cal money line, Wake Forest 14.5. 100% right for a plus 131. You didn't bet it. You didn't bet it. It was right there. Cal money line, Wake Forest plus 14.5 for 131. You didn't bet it. As a matter of fact, Friday night was so great. This is all Friday night's stuff right here. This is all Friday night. Thursday night, we rocked it in value bets. Nobody's paying attention because we got the rushing prop wrong. But when you look at, that was on Wednesday, by the way. But when you look at Friday, and you're looking at these bets, Rico, you missed. You picked Rice over Memphis. I picked Rice plus 17.5 with an alt over 45.5. You didn't make that bet either. It's plus 102 money. Plus 131 money. Minus 116. How hard was it to get Eli Sanders for 40 yards and Dampier for 40 yards? I don't get it. You'd be up units. Got everything right. Okay, what did we miss over here? The value bets. Shit, you should be sprinkling. Rico, you missed the plus 500. And the only reason some of these missed, well, Dean Connors missed by like 5 yards or less. He missed by a yard on his over rushing yards, by the way. He finished with 55 yards rushing. But more importantly, the only reason, Marquez Cooper missed by 2 yards on his rushing. These are bad beats. It happens. Devin Dampier had no touchdowns, which is insane. He's never had no touchdowns. Had no touchdowns in the game. Jack Endries got injured in the first quarter, so he missed portions of the first quarter. He finished with 5 receptions. If he didn't get injured, we hit the over on those. All this shit has never happened before. We would have been green. It's life, man. But all I hear is, that doesn't matter. Iowa missed. Yeah, I know, man. I put out a whole chart, and it sucks when Iowa misses. But you can't act like the other information isn't there for you to get ahead. Make your own locks. Make your own locks. Make your own leans. Make your own coin flips. See what happens. With the information provided, make your own. It's crazy, man. Memphis is not good. Rice was competitive. By the way, E.J. Warner, 2 passing touchdowns. Like I said, it happens. The Prize Picks hit hard. Friday night, Prize Picks hit hard. I think Prize Picks hit yesterday on Saturday as well. This was an anomaly of a game. It's unfortunate San Diego State lost. It sucks. Oregon beating Maryland. They just didn't get it done the way I needed them to. Very low confidence in the spread anyways. I thought it was huge, but I don't like Maryland at all, and Oregon just did not go out there and play the way they needed to. It's not a big deal to me. Ohio State beating Purdue. I had Purdue at plus 45.5 as well, so that worked out. And I had Ohio State covering the spread. I had it both different ways on the back of the chart, so that was good to go. The anytime touchdowns hurt because Judkins didn't score a touchdown. But both receivers scored a touchdown, and I gave you that analysis. I told you if Kendrick Breedlove's in your starting secondary, you need to take both receivers to score a touchdown, anytime touchdown, and they did. And this is where, like, you can talk, but nobody will listen. Like, they don't care. Where'd I put it? Jeremiah Smith and Emeka, anytime touchdown. What killed me was no Quinshon Judkins touchdown. But it's a plus 110. You didn't want to make money on that game. I don't know what to tell you. Ole Miss, Georgia. Congratulations. Ole Miss outplayed Georgia. Thought it was a coin flip game and thought we should not be betting on it. Carson Beck looks terrible. Shout out to Ole Miss. Where's Gunnar Stockton when you need him? Ole Miss getting it done. Being dominant. No real offensive explosion, but good enough to beat Georgia. And that's all you need to do. Miami, Georgia Tech. I made Miami a lock. I thought they would outscore Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech wouldn't be able to keep pace. Let me explain something to you guys. Everybody starts writing how bad Miami's defense is. Miami sucks. Miami's defense sucks. I can't believe you took this bet and you bet on them and all this. You guys, Georgia Tech scored 28 points. If Miami can't score over 38 points on Georgia Tech, we have a problem. The spread was 10.5. I loved Miami to score more than 38 points. I don't give a shit that Georgia Tech scored 28. Give me Miami to score more. I thought Miami's offense, which only had 16 points with about 2 minutes left in the game, Miami's offense was the problem in this game. They weren't completing drives. They had 3 drives in the red zone, turnover on downs. Not even field goals. We're talking about we needed touchdowns out of those, but turnover on downs 3 times. So what failed in this game is actually Miami's offense. It really did. They didn't get it done when they needed to. So all you guys sitting out there talking about the defense, nah, man. The offense. It's the number 1 offense in America, and you only put up 16 points in about 54 minutes, 55 minutes, 56 minutes, whatever it was. Yeah, that's bad. The offense didn't get it done. It sucks. Texas, Florida. A lot of you were on Florida but didn't want to admit it. I wasn't. I said Texas is going to go out there and do this. Florida had a backup quarterback. I don't even know who they're using. I don't even care. Texas, to me, best team in America. Told you this all season long. I told you this from week 1. Texas, best team in America. I had Texas, and this was a lock. Penn State, way better than Washington. Just believe that Penn State's a better pedigree. Dominated this game. We won on everything on this game. If you go in here and you look, Penn State, where is it at? Penn State, Washington, right here. Penn State minus 6.5, alt under 52.5. It was a plus 100 bet to make. You ignored it. You ignored it because it was down here somewhere. Where was it? Oh, it's up here. It's the 4th best lean I have out there. You don't care. Bro, if it's in the top 10, top 15, top 12 of all the games on a week, I really love everything up here. It's crazy. A lot of Mississippi State guys on the server. Shout out to Salt and the SWAT and the boys. They said, hey, we're going to cover this spread. And they did. I think they did, right? 19? Yeah, it was 20-something. Yeah, they covered the spread. I mean, Tennessee kept it simple. There's nothing too fancy. I think Tennessee lost Nico. They tell me Nico's done. Doesn't matter. Nico's not a good quarterback. So, shout out to them. Mississippi State covering the spread. Being competitive in this game. They were. They're a little more competitive than the score. Speaking of being competitive, Indiana doesn't cover the spread. That's frightening. I wish they would have been consistent, but Michigan's got a good defense. They went out there and played well. I'm just proud of Indiana for being 10-0. That's cool. I'm good with that. They did not cover the spread. It's a miss. It's a miss. BYU beating Utah. I've told you guys this, and I don't know who watches the videos or not, but I've told you BYU is the least talented undefeated team in America. BYU is the least talented team in the top 15. And I can't stress that enough. So seeing this close score doesn't shock me. I was hoping they would win by more than 2.5 points. I was hoping they would win by a field goal, but not down by a field. Like I didn't expect that. A Utah 21-point second quarter is not on my bingo card. Utah has no offense whatsoever. I don't believe in Utah. All it is Micah Bernard running the ball. But Utah's front seven on defense is daunting. BYU's going to have to fight and claw for every single point they're ever going to get because Retzlaff's not a real quarterback. It's a miss of the worst kind. Well, not the worst kind, but it was a miss because I had BYU. Oh, Rico, you didn't know? It's a rivalry, and you can't pick them, bro. Shut up. The Utah guys, let me tell you something. There's very few people that took Utah spread. Utah plus 2.5. They took Utah money line, and they were wrong. So all the people out there who are watching me take BYU spread, and then they talk shit and go, oh, you didn't take Utah? You know Utah was going to win that rivalry. Those guys didn't take the spread. They took the money line. It's not a misread. It's just a game. It's a rivalry game. Notre Dame, Florida State. Easiest one. Probably one of the easier ones. I probably should have had it on the locks chart. I had it on the leans. I really believed in it. It was pretty simple. Florida State can't score. Had Notre Dame up here, and I had a lot of different props for this game. That should tell you how much I liked it. Unfortunately, Love didn't get 25 yards. Just fucking crazy. Or was it 40? He didn't get 40 yards? He might only finish like 11 yards. Got a touchdown in the fourth quarter. But I had multiple bets on this game because I believed in Notre Dame immensely. Just believed in them. But yeah, that part hurt. The lack of love. I don't know, man. Payne broke out and had a decent game. Happens. Alabama beating the hell out of LSU. Man, Brian Kelly, you suck, bro. You don't know what you're doing. Alabama was ready to go. Jalen Miller, 4 rushing touchdowns. No rushing touchdowns from Jam Miller sucks, but Justice Haynes had one. Still, it's pretty nuts that LSU only mustered up 239 yards of passing when they usually go for about 300. It just domination by Alabama. Good job. Good win. LSU's fake as fuck. I don't want to hear about LSU no more. Nevada, Boise State, it went exactly like I thought. I'm not worried about the score. I just think that Brendan Lewis is hard to deal with and hard to stop. It was a plus 150 anytime touchdown. That was a bargain. I thought, and I told you, and I said this. Vegas got it wrong. It's one of the few value bets I got right on the day. Vegas got it wrong when they valued him at plus 150. He has scored a touchdown in every single game. So to get a plus 150 anytime touchdown on Brendan Lewis is insane. His 2 touchdowns was plus 1,100. I was hoping that would have hit as well. But the plus 150 is there. When you hear me say Vegas got it wrong on a prop bet, you got to perk up. But you got to be watching the video pretty long to finally see me talk about it. And I don't think you did. I also had Nevada covering the spread. They did that. So shout out to Boise. Iowa State. I never once thought this was a lock. I never once really thought it was an easy game. I know how good Kansas is. I picked Iowa State to win. They didn't. It happens in life. Kansas, I wish they would show up and play like this every single week. It would have helped my futures bet. It didn't work out for me. That's life. Virginia, shit. Virginia made Pitt's quarterbacks look absolutely terrible. First, Eli Holstein couldn't complete anything. Couldn't do anything. Then Nate Yarnell gets in the game, and he throws 2 picks. And he's throwing picks to Sanker, who's amazing. Shout out to Virginia. Virginia has an NFL safety. And then Jonas Sanker, he's great. And then the other guy who got the pick was the transfer from Akron. What's his damn name? I forgot his name, but Thomas. Thomas is so good. And so shout out to Virginia finding a way to win. I did not see this coming. Pitt is supposed to be a top 20 team. They're supposed to get this win and get it done against a gunslinger in Colin Drea, and they didn't. It's unfortunate. Colorado. Colorado has more professionals than Texas Tech, apparently. And you know how I feel about that. A team with more professionals usually wins the game. Colorado looked pretty good. They came imported on. They came out sleepwalking initially, and then they just started getting more efficient, getting the ball out there. My biggest issue with Texas Tech is their defense, or lack thereof. They just don't have the right team speed in the box, and then their secondary can just be beat. So Colorado getting it done. I thought Texas Tech would be close in this game, and it was close. It was closer than the score, but especially that last touchdown with Shiloh, that's weird. But the thing that bothers me about this game is I told MVPs to bet it a certain way, and they would have won money on this game, and I don't know if you did. That's all I can say, because it's in here, and it's right here. It's plus 14 each way. I said do a plus 14.5 on each team because they're going to be competitive in a shootout, and then go with Tajay Brooks' touchdown, and you get minus 126. You can believe in that bet all day. Travis Hunter and Tajay Brooks anytime touchdown. Another bet you can believe in all day in the Colorado game. By the way, gave you all the mins for a unit flip. Totally dominated the Colorado-Texas Tech game. There was 3 units to be made on that game, and I know you didn't make those 3 units. I know you went out and parlayed it with some other things. You parlayed it with Pitt. You didn't pay attention to how the chart's constructed. You complain about the chart, but you did not do what I recommended for that game. I know you did. I'm sitting here because if you did, I would have saw it in the Wins channel. I would have saw screenshots of it. People would have been celebrating. Instead, all I see is Sko Buffs or I can't believe he picked Pitt, shit like that. And it's just, you guys are all, I don't know how to explain it to you. You got to look at a game and digest it individually and assess what I provided for that particular game. You can't just look at the whole slate and go, yeah, I'm going to parlay all these because they happen at 3. That's dumb. Washington slate, they covered the spread. It was 20.5. We got hooked on this. It's a bad beat. I knew Utah State would be able to score. So I took the spread and I extended it to 28.5. If you don't remember this, I'll show it to you. It's over here. It was on the chart, and it was right here. Utah State 28.5. Washington State money line. And then an alt over 58.5. Obviously, both teams are going to score because Utah State's defense is terrible. So it's a plus 100. You could have made a unit on that game, no problem. You guys want to make a bet in the middle of the night? I put it right here for you. And I totally believed in it. So it's one of those things where if I put it on the chart, yes, I missed. But it's a half a unit. It's a half a point miss. But not really if you look at the props chart and you see how I recommended you to play that bet. So that's what the props chart is. Best bets. It's my recommendation for that particular play. I don't know what else to say. By the way, Kyle Williams, I think I had him at 70 yards, maybe somewhere around there. It's unfortunate. He just kept getting touchdowns and not yards. If you have never seen Wayshawn Parker play, he's amazing. Stupid fast. Clemson, a better version of Virginia Tech, covered the spread. I knew this would happen. They are like Virginia Tech, just better. They really are. So shout out to Clemson. Congratulations for getting back. Oklahoma doesn't beat Missouri. I don't know how Drew Pine dices you up for 20 points in the fourth quarter. I'm going to tell you that scoop and score is a problem. Turnovers are a problem for Oklahoma. But if you were going to pick Missouri with a backup quarterback against Oklahoma, then congratulations, pick them. I wasn't. Nothing you can make me do. Nothing you can do. Next, Army beats North Texas. The fucking sign is flashing with neon lights. When I provided my assessment for this game, I thought North Texas would score points. They had 3 turnovers in the red zone. Insane. Turnovers on downs, interceptions. I think how many Chandler Morris threw 2 picks, but it's just crazy how they couldn't finish their drives. They were there. They would have won this game by a lot. They didn't. Army wins the game. Now, when I gave my assessment, it was all under the assumption that Army is overrated. I've decided Army's played nobody this year. They're not very good. And Bryson Daly isn't playing in this game. That's what I said in the video. I've said it 100 times over. As loud as I could. Said, yo, they got no Bryson Daly? How the hell are they going to keep pace with North Texas? Then we get an announcement. They got Bryson Daly. And immediately I start getting messages again from MVPs who don't get it. Oh, do you still take him? Do you still think North Texas is going to win the game? What the fuck is wrong with you? I can't change the chart. I can't re-record the video. But it's obvious I'm not on North Texas if Bryson Daly's playing in the game. If I describe everything to you and then you show up, like, what are we doing? I'm trying to think of it. Like, I'm trying to think of a way to explain it to you, and I just don't know how many more analogies I got to give. And I put it in these videos. They're free for the world to see. And you guys just don't listen. I don't know what else to say to you. If I sat down right now and I told you the Chiefs are a lock because Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs are a lock to lose because Patrick Mahomes isn't playing. And if they don't have Patrick Mahomes, they can't score this many points and keep up with the Ravens. If I told you that, and then the game starts, or we get towards game time, and Patrick Mahomes got his whole uniform on, and he's warming up, does any of that fucking matter? It's wild to me, bro. It's wild. I need to give out analogies. Another segment, just another analogy for the crash outs. I don't know what to say. If I told you, I'm going to leave it alone. If I told you this girl's a really good kisser and then you show up and she don't have no fucking lips, you still kissing her? I don't know what to say. She showed up all hooking, all lipless and shit. Ugh. Something growing on it? Come on, bro. That's wild. Rutgers, Minnesota. Here's another example. I'm on Minnesota. It's a lock. I'm on Minnesota. Why? Because Rutgers doesn't have Monungai at running back. They don't have their star player, so I got to take Minnesota. Minnesota's been dominating teams. Minnesota's been looking great. And Rutgers without their best player. Didn't happen. It's unfortunate. Tell me how that's a bad read. Here's another one. Syracuse, fucking Boston College, bro. I say I'm on Syracuse because I know Kyle McCord is going to throw for 400 fucking yards. And Thomas Castellanos won't be able to keep pace. Thomas Castellanos ain't a real quarterback. He can't throw against that defense. Thomas Castellanos finishes the game. His QBR is less than 1. Thomas Castellanos, QBR less than 1. Never seen that in my life. Look at it. Grayson James, the worst quarterback in the history of man. I was so right. Thomas Castellanos can't play quarterback. But my God, Syracuse could not stop Robichaux, who's not good, and Jordan McDonald, who I haven't seen play running back since he was at Milton in high school, because he didn't play at all at UCF, and he transferred up here. He hasn't played at all this year. Jordan McDonald was special in high school. 7A football here in Georgia. But give me a break. You just see the final score and talk shit. You just see the final score and say Rico missed. Rico doesn't know what he's talking about. Are you kidding me, bro? I told you they wouldn't be able to do this. It didn't matter. They did other things. It didn't matter. They did other things. By the way, Syracuse out here fumbling. Justin Barron, I don't give a shit about all these tackles. Dude can't set the edge. Can't make a tackle. It's crazy. Assessment right where it needed to be. Now, this assessment problem. Not only does Corey Kiner get an anytime touchdown, I told you he doesn't score touchdowns, he did. But Sorsby threw a pick six for the ages, bro. Sorsby just making terrible decisions. Just the dumbest decisions I've seen in a while. And it hurt, man. And it hurt, and West Virginia went out there and won the game. Coin flip game to begin with, but it is what it is. I wanted Cincinnati to win that one. Guess you don't get what you want. I knew Texas State would win and cover this spread. They just have more scoring power. I just had no idea who the hell Brad Jackson is. But he's a bad white boy. Brad Jackson, he's shorter than 6 feet tall, came off the bench and started running everywhere. I had to say, who the fuck is that guy? I was out here having my own Conor McGregor shit going on. Who the fuck is that guy? I couldn't believe it, man. That's wild. Congratulations to Texas State, though. I'm glad they found the way. And ULM, overachievers of all overachievers. It happens, bro. I want them to get one more win. Let's see if they got another win on the schedule to go bowling. Let's see if they got it. No. They got to beat Arkansas State. That's their only chance. I wonder what that spread will be. Their only chance is Arkansas State. I want them to go bowling, man. They've been on a skid. Well, these are really good teams. Yeah. Go bowling, bro. Got to beat that Arkansas State. Beat Butch. Anyways. Navy. You know I hate Navy, and I don't think they're very good. They came out, got some big plays early. South Florida was fucking sleepwalking, terrible. Bryce Archie's not ready for the moment. Bryce Archie's not very good. I don't care what coach says. He just plays bad, and Navy wins the game. Congratulations to Navy. Probably the easiest lock of the day, and I didn't make it because I'm just mad. That's an emotional one, and I told you guys that. I said, I just hate them. Just we're not going to rock with them. I saw MVPs bet on them money line, and rightfully so. That's a case where you can just go and fade it. Like, wait till John Jones fights next week, and I don't pick him. It's obvious. You're not a robot. You can just fade it. You can pick him. I won't pick him out of principle. That's how I feel about Navy. I'm not picking them out of principle. Now, the lock of all locks, another lock. It was on the lock list, Liberty. If you've watched football with us all season long and you've actually watched the games and the live streams, you knew this was a bet that you had to take, and you should have believed in it wholeheartedly. Middle Tennessee's defense is terrible. They can't stop the run to save their lives. And even if Liberty is out there shitting the bed with turnovers and bad decisions, this is a bet you should have made multiple units, and you didn't. I don't know why. It's a stylistic nightmare for Middle Tennessee. They don't match up well. Shout out to UConn for shocking the world and coming back to win this game and cover the spread. Very, very nerve-wracking. I thought we lost. I thought we missed. But Jalen Kitna did what he did best. He started playing with kids, or playing like a kid, and just terrible. And, UConn comes back to win and breaks free at the end there and covers the spread. Congrats to UConn playing with fire. They need to do something about that, though. Marshall, another game that should have been a really big bet for you guys. It was the top of my leans list. It would have been a lock, but I was worried about the weather. And once the weather was cleared up, this is a pretty simple pick as far as spread goes. The spread was only like 10 points or something. I don't know what it was, but listen to me, 12 points. When I tell you, you want to be betting on games where one team is great and the other team is not so good. This is a prime example. And the spread wasn't huge. It wasn't insurmountable. Remember, Ohio, Kent State, Marshall, Southern Miss. We just had it two games ago. Liberty, MTSU. A good game versus a good team versus a terrible team. And you're going to get these results that you can depend on for the most part, that you should be betting on. Straight across, believing in this spread. I only took it off the locks list because of the weather. Once the weather was clear, you should have been all in on it. Southern Miss ain't it. Duke, I knew they were better than NC State. And in every way, they were better than NC State from the word go. And they had to settle for 3 field goals to start this game. That got me nervous. But they still, obviously, winning the game. Everything went right. It felt good. We got the yardage props right. Malik Murphy threw 2 touchdowns like I wanted him to. I wish he would have thrown 3, but 2 was good enough. Got that right. San Jose State, told you they're better than Oregon State. I like San Jose State's coaching staff better than Oregon State. What I've noticed about San Jose State is they had a bunch of players depart in the transfer portal, but they also had their coaches depart and go to Arizona. And if there's anything we can say now is, my God, are those coaches terrible. And that means San Jose State got an upgrade in their coaching staff. Ken coming over, former Navy head coach. I can't say his last name. Naima Latavo. Dude, don't fucking judge. I don't know. I'm Mexican, bro. I'm not from those islands. I can't say those names. But I can tell you that San Jose State got an upgrade in coaching. And obviously Oregon State has had a downgrade in coaching. That makes a huge difference in these games. And it did in this one. So I like it a lot. Glad I got that right. JMU, Georgia State was not going to be able to stop them. Their defense is not good enough to stop JMU. I told you there was a speed discrepancy here, and I thought JMU running backs were going to go wild. Petaway's the main guy I was talking about, but I just thought that JMU was going to outscore Georgia State and wouldn't be able to keep pace. We were right. Picked UTEP in a coin flip game and went to double overtime. Did not expect all this scoring. I have watched both these teams all year long. To see a 43-35 double overtime win was insane. I was only on the under on this, but I did in the money line picks take UTEP, and we got it right. Tulane blowing out Temple. Easy as that. That was crazy. Temple, you just can't stop the run. And that's been all the reality all season long. They can't stop the run. South Carolina beating Vandy. I hate picking against Diego Pavia, but I think South Carolina is one of the best teams in the SEC. They have a great defensive front. Their offense is okay. Raheem Sanders is good, but they're okay. But South Carolina, one of the better 6-3 teams in America. Love the way they beat Vandy. Called it. So let's see what I didn't call here. Jacksonville State didn't cover the spread. It's a lock. I miss. Guys, if you could tell me that La Tech was going to be within 10.5 of Jacksonville State, I wouldn't believe you, dude. I watched La Tech score a total of 12 points in 2 games. I've watched La Tech do nothing on offense forever. So to see them put up 37 points is a little absurd. Now, Jacksonville State, we thought you lost this game. Thank you for winning money line. Made some money here and there. But it was a Hail Mary, and then the dude misses an extra point, and we have to go to overtime. It helps some people with the alternate spread, but still sucks. I expected Jacksonville State to just walk right through them. Speaking of walk right through them, Louisiana is great. I've told you this. Louisiana's only loss is to Tulane, and it was a competitive game with Tulane. Louisiana is very good. They're very good. They need to be respected. They have an NFL quarterback. Woolridge is a borderline NFL guy. Just looks the part of an NFL journeyman. I like that. Louisiana's got a good quarterback, good team. They're a complete team. Good stuff. Oh, my God. We got backdoor covered. We got backdoor covered by New Mexico State. We had this. This is a miss on me. This is my miss. This is Rico doesn't know. You guys, the alternate spread I took was 13.5. We missed that as well. So that sucks. But how is Mike Washington turning into Herschel Walker? Like, how does Mike Washington go for 152 yards and 2 touchdowns against the best team in Conference USA? That's why I couldn't get him 25 yards one night. And here he is at 152. That hurts my soul. Shout out to Western Kentucky. They keep winning, but not covering the spread. F you and everything you wrote on. And then we got the UCF Arizona State game. Oh, my goodness. So we get word Cam Scadaboo's not playing in this game. At that point, I flip. I tell all the MVPs, we're taking UCF money line. We're taking UCF to cover the spread. But it wasn't a lock. It wasn't way up there. It was just at the bottom of the chart. And I'll show you. We got proof. There's no reason to go crazy on this, right? It's right here. It's the bottom of the chart. It's the lowest one that you can bet on right before we get to coin flips. Money line. There's USF. Where's UCF? I believed in it a little bit. I believed in it. I thought it was good value. That's why I made it purple and moved it up. Good value at plus 120. Added it down here. So you look at it and you go, oh, Rico, well, what would you have done? You would have still taken Arizona State without Cam Scadaboo? There was a punt return for a touchdown by Arizona State. There were 2 missed field goals. And I think there was a pick 6. Yeah, a pick 6, a punt return for a touchdown, and 2 missed field goals by UCF. The UCF couldn't do any worse. I can't predict all that bullshit. UCF was supposed to win this game, and they didn't. And shout out to Arizona State for finding a way to win. You got to give Kenny Dillingham a lot of credit. That team is finding ways to win and getting it done. And then UCF is just week after week after week finding ways to lose. Speaking of finding ways to lose, Oklahoma State, you get Ollie Gordon going, you get 120 yards out of him, you think you're doing something, you're not. TCU beat the brakes off of you. Oklahoma State, gross, 0-7 in conference play, the worst you've seen. And TCU shows up without a running back. It's nuts. They're playing their leading receiver at running back. Now, they used another kid yesterday, but Savion Williams is the guy they've been playing at running back for the most part for the last couple weeks. Savion Williams has been their running back. He's also one of their leading receivers. Yeah, I think that's pretty impressive. But this game, they started to use Battle, Cook, like they're getting some health back at the running back position. But I don't believe in any of these dudes. Like, I really don't. Personally, I don't. But it don't matter who you got. You're going to beat Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's playing the wrong players all season long. Trent Allen needs to be playing more. I'm letting you know that right now. You need to find ways to get Trent Allen the ball. Stop giving it to this Ollie Gordon, this DUI waiting to happen, Ollie Gordon. We got to respect Hawaii. Got to respect Hawaii. Hawaii is a miss on my part, right? Hawaii goes out there. They're good against the run. They've been shutting down teams that are run-oriented all season long. I know they're 4-6, but they've been shutting down run-oriented teams. And they're going to cover that spread against run-oriented teams. I got it wrong. I said they wouldn't, and they did. That's just crazy. And it's a miss. And then Air Force beats Fresno State. And this is the icing on the cake, bro. How? Fresno State couldn't stop anything. This is a win. Their first win in who knows how long, 7 weeks. If you would have picked Air Force after watching them against the Army last week, if you would have picked Air Force to beat Fresno State, then you're better than me. And that's the whole goal in this world, is to be better than me. But if you thought Air Force was beating Fresno State, show me the betting slip. Show me where you put your money on it. I don't want to hear about Fresno State losing. I don't want to hear about missing. I want to see the individual who's being critical to show me the Air Force winning slip with your bet ID or whatever it is. Like, let me just show me. You don't fucking exist. So you can't get upset when something happens if you would have never done that. Don't blame me for influencing you. I do want to dodge the bullets. I do want to dodge the potholes. I do want to get it right. But in those moments, when something astronomical happens, when something unfortunate happens, just show it to me, bro. That's it. Just prove it. Like, I got to prove everything I say. If I tell you this is going to win, I got to prove it. It's got to be there. It's in 4K. I have to make predictions before they happen. It's my job. But if you're going to be critical of the analysis and the assessment, just show me where you made a different assessment. Just show it to me. And don't show me in text. Don't write, oh, I knew Air Force was going to win. I could have called this. I don't want to hear none of that. No. Show me the winning ticket where you put money on Air Force to beat Fresno because you knew it was going to happen. Just fucking show me that. Because everything I say has a consequence. Everything I say has a consequence. Not just for you, but for me. If I miss, it's in 4K, it's there forever, and people are losing money on it. And I'm ultimately losing MVPs on it. I'm losing more money than you. It's not a competition. I'm just letting you know. Whatever bet you lost, if you lost because of something I said, and I know it bothers you, I'm losing more than you. I promise you. We could do the math. Just letting you know. So you're not alone in this. I hate missing too. I hate missing too. It sucks. Trust. Nonetheless, I hope your MVPs are on it. Hey, thank you for being an MVP. Shout out to the guys who are here on the Discord server. You know, when I see the names on the Discord server, I'm sitting here, I'm recording this show right now, and I see a guy like Original Rocker, Jalen, Cochise Bryant, Lucky Luciano, GK, Sultan of SWAT, Dave in Arizona, Mr. Muscles, and Paul Cincy. It's sitting. When I see you guys, and this is just a handful of guys, there's people coming in and out throughout the show. There's people on TikTok watching. There's people, everybody watching. When I see you guys every day, it's the same familiar faces. And game recognized game. We know who we are. We know what we're doing. And when you know that you're genuinely trying your best, there's nothing you can do about it. Like we're just missing. It's just tough at times. But when we hit and we get it right, you know what bothers me when we get it right? I'm going to show you guys something. And I don't want to share too much, so I'm going to make sure that I kind of censor it. But Natasha reached out and she said something real quick. Give me this real quick. Let me do this for you. Natasha reached out to me. She's an MVP. And she asked for my favorite play this weekend. This is a true story. This is in our DMs. She reached out to me and said, Rico, I am really struggling. I got to hit something. I need da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to make sure you guys don't get too much of the convo. This is important. And I don't necessarily help MVPs one-on-one all the time. This is somebody who's been an MVP for well over a year. She's a day one, A1. Shout out to Natasha. And I want her to win as best I can. And we had these two messages, and I'm going to put them in the chat here for the MVPs to read, but I'm going to drag them up on the screen here in a second. She said, hey, what's the best play for you? What do you think is going to help me win today? What's the best bet to make? And this was like Friday. And my answer was right here. My answer at 1 o'clock on Friday was Marshall and the under. Because there's no way Southern Miss is going to get to 60. And there's no way Marshall doesn't win by more than 6.5. This was my favorite play. I said it's supposed to rain, so this helps the under. But how in the world does Southern Miss keep up with Marshall? Southern Miss quarterback play is terrible. And there you have it. That's what I told her. And then I told her, double check the weather, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't look like much rain, but 17-mile-per-hour winds. Hopefully that under holds up, maybe hedge with Marshall money line, Marshall 7.5 first spread, another plus 100. These are pretty solid. I'm working all the matchups, so we'll see what else I find. This is it right here. My favorite play of Saturday wasn't even in the locks column. And that's me. That's how much I care. Is I will sit down and give you my personal answer if I know who you are, if I know that you're on the platform and you're positive and you're trying your best. But if you're just some random MVP who show up and you just go, yo, Rico, what's the pick today? What's the fucking, give me one play right now? I will not answer you. You do not exist in my world. You pay $25 like thousands of others. You're here for a week or two, and then you're gone. So I appreciate the people that are in this, they're in the family, they're in the community, on the platform, they're entrenched, they're ingrained. They wake up every morning, they go, yo, what is Rico talking about? What are we doing? What is this? What are we doing this Saturday? What do we got for the UFC fights? Whatever. I appreciate those people who are in there and here every month. And I will give back as much as I can to those people. But I can't do that for everybody. I had one guy attack me, one guy named Brian. He wrote and he said, Rico didn't help any of the people who helped him build this platform. Or he didn't give back to the people who helped build this platform. You motherfuckers have no clue, man. Not only did I build this platform on my own 2 feet, like on my own hard work, working 20 hours a day, doing research, learning all these teams, learning all these players for years on end. But I actually hand jammed the Discord server, hand jammed the process to get connected from Patreon to Discord, created different platforms and different graphics, and I pay people for the graphics they create me if they created me graphics. Ask Gabe. I paid him. The people who I selected to be admins for the server were just people who I trust who've been here. They're not employees. But if you ever want to know, it's like, there'll be a moment. I was talking to Sultan of SWAT not too long ago. And he said, hey, Rico, thanks a lot, man. You know, we won a lot of money this year. We're doing this. And I just thought to myself, you know what, man? That's a good dude. And I went and I double-checked how much has Sultan of SWAT spent as an MVP as far as contributing to my channel. How much has he paid as being an MVP? And I went and I saw the amount and I said, oh, shit. And I doubled it. And I sent it back to him. I didn't publicize that shit anywhere. I didn't start talking about this, that, or the other. I wrote him. I said, yo, bro, what's your Cash App? You guys don't know me and the way I move. You don't know how much I appreciate, motherfucker. Like, real. Because like, we take it offline and I talk to you in your DMs real quick. And I'm going to go to bat for you if you're a real day one. If you're really in this, I got you. All the rest of you, dude, you guys are just fake as fuck. I literally post on YouTube and post videos on YouTube for one person, Dave in Arizona. That's a true story. I don't know who else fucks with my YouTube videos. I just know I got one MVP on YouTube, and his name is Dave in Arizona. I'm going to show y'all something. I'm not even messing with you. I'm pulling back the curtain for you guys so you guys understand something, man. If you give to me, I'll give back to you 100%. And I'm not talking about just money. I'm talking about effort, dude. Look at these videos. This is YouTube. These are MVP videos. You see how it says members only? Members. That's for this week's members. Look how many views it got. 50. 50 views on YouTube. I don't know who these people are that watch the videos on YouTube. It's got 28 views, 24 views, 50 views. I don't know who's watching these videos. There's the UFC Fight Night breakdown of a full UFC card, 15 views. You know who I know those views are? It's Dave in Arizona. I'm posting this for Dave. I don't know who these other people are. A dozen people, 20 people, 50 people. I make the video, I post it on Patreon, and then I go, wait, I got to go post this on YouTube. Because Dave in Arizona is not a Patreon MVP, he's a YouTube MVP. So I got to go post it over there so he can get it. Who are these people? I don't know. By the way, the video got 1 like. I'm pretty sure it's Dave in Arizona. We have over 200 MVPs on YouTube. Over 200. I only know one of them by name. Do your best to be in that inner circle. Do your best. And it's not a good old boy network. It's not a clique. Man, everybody's welcome to it. You could be new. You don't even have to be here last football season. You could be in the circle. But what it is it's just a circle of positivity. I don't keep squares around me, man. I don't keep bad company. We used to have a kid on the server who thought he was in. He thought he was cool. And he was talking that shit and he was writing all that stuff and he's with me. He's there. And then he dropped the N-word one night. Then he dropped the N-word in chat one night. And he thought shit was sweet. He thought that would be cool to hang out with me and drop that and be cool with me. I blocked that motherfucker so fast. And I told him, you can never be around me. You can never be around my people. Like, you can't do this. You guys don't know the real me is what I'm trying to get at. I don't get down like that. And I'm not going to sit around and have negative people around me. I'm not going to have people who don't rock with me. I don't need you, man. We got real people on the server. We got real people in the family. We got real people, lifetime members, annual members. I don't need your $25. I'm good. You ain't heard me. I ain't raised prices. I ain't fighting for $1. So when somebody attacks your character and says he's only in it for the money, somebody attacks your character and says, oh, he doesn't even give back to the people that helped him get started, or he doesn't even care about who he set up with, or this shit, that, or the other. They don't know me, bro. We ain't never chopped it up. We ain't never talked one-on-one. You ain't never been in my life. You talk a little too loose to be around me like that anyways. Don't get a clickbait video twisted, bro. I make a clickbait video on TikTok. That's all fun and games. That's just engagement for the teenagers. We're on Patreon. This shit is real. I'm trying to win you money. I'm trying to get it right. I'm trying to do everything I can to help you. But how silly do you look when we're winning thousands of dollars in the UFC and you motherfuckers are in general chat bitching about a pick? You didn't take all them other locks serious? The color scheme is the same on either chart. It ain't hard to read, bro. Green means go. They just start popping off at 2 in the morning like they think I won't see it. Motherfucker, I don't sleep. I'm up at 3 in the morning making your ass go off into oblivion. Punk ass dude. I hope you lose your girl to the neighbor. I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate all the MVPs. Thank you guys for supporting me and believing in the platform. We've been doing this for 2 years. It's not luck. We're great. I'm telling you right now, this doesn't feel good. But if you go right here and you see 17 out of 18 on plus 100s and you didn't get any of this, you didn't pick any of this right here, that's on you, bro. That's on you, bro. You went to Five Guys and started ordering hot dogs. You forgot what the fuck we're open for. Don't test me. I'm going to try again like I do every week. I'm going to give you analysis. You make your picks based off of the analysis. We're not changing the message. The messaging has never changed. The delivery has never changed. So don't come at me, oh, Rico switching it up now. No, I'm not. Charts have been evolving since we started. The analysis is what you're paying for. Apply it accordingly. Get in where you fit in. All those cliches are out there. But you motherfuckers are weak. You know who I'm talking to. If you heard your name in today's show in a positive light, I appreciate you. If you heard it in a negative light, man, you're lucky. I'm going easy on you. That's real. Because I got your email address. I got your information. I can track your punk ass down. We can figure it out. But I don't need to go there. We're going to keep it moving. You're just not in the circle, bro. You're just not here no more. It's going to eat at you to watch this video and not be able to speak to me about it. I know, man. Those fingers are just going to... You're going to get callous on those thumbs typing so angrily to me. But if we met in person, you'd be staring at the ground pretending like you're lost. You would greet me with a yes, sir. And a weak-ass handshake. I'll probably just talk to your girl while you standing there. Y'all have a blessed day. Kim and I got a big day. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.